Hey y'all, it's Laura. Welcome back. We had our first frost. Devastating. No, it's fine. This is what happens. We're in Connecticut, so it was late for us, but it was expected. Now we had 2 nights that got frosty. I did try to cover some things, so I'm going to take you guys around the garden and kind of show you what happened and all that. If you're new here, we're in Zone 6, Connecticut. And it is November 4th today. So let's have a walk around the garden and see what happened after our first frost. All right, let's start with the bad news. I told you guys the ageratum, it really cannot handle a frost. Like as soon as it can handle like right up until, and then as soon as it gets frosty, it's like no. And this is what happens. But look, it does still have some life down lower. So I might just try to cut these back. I don't know. Maybe I'll experiment a little with these ones. But these, I actually covered this little patch right here. And I covered these over here. I covered these ones 2 nights ago. I didn't cover them last night because wasn't really any point. But these are pretty much done for, I think. And then the other thing that really got hit was the blue spice basil, which is on the other side of the pumpkin tunnel. Let's go over there. So you can see these all got hit. I think I put a clip in my last video of them just a few days ago with bees all over. If I didn't, I'll include it here because for some reason, I feel like I might have forgotten that. Now that it's this late in the season, the bees that are left, I see them over here all the time. This is like their favorite plant. So these are all dead now. So what I'll do is I'll cut them all back or pull them all out. I'll turn them upside down and I'll shake the seeds off of them. And just let them be there, because I did have some that reseeded this year from last year. So let's just try that again, shall we? Let me show you the cup and saucer vine, because I did attempt to save that from the frost. I covered those. So let's go have a look at those. So here's this one here, and you can see the other one kind of in the background. I covered them with twin sheets. I took 2 for each of them. And you can kind of see at the top, they don't look great. They're kind of flattened and there is some damage. But for the most part, look, they're okay. I was really surprised at that. So I'm going to do the same thing as what I said with the ageratum, only less. So I'm just going to cut off whatever is dead, like this. These don't look great. I'll just trim it up a little bit, clear it up a little bit, because the weather is supposed to turn again, and it's going to be back to 77 tomorrow and the next day. So yeah, so we made it through those couple of nights, and we'll see what happens after that. But for now, this is good, I think. Let's go look at the other one. That one is more flat on the top. I think it might even just be from like the weight of the sheet itself, more so than the frost. But you can see some frost damage. But also, I mean, there's still blooms on it, you guys. Let's go look at the other one. Look at all these blooms over here. This stuff here, is that from the original plant? Maybe. So yeah, so some of it did get hit. But there was also a morning glory on this. I know that's completely dead now. But we look okay. I'm going to clean all this up. I mean, she's still alive. It's good news. This hyacinth bean vine did not make it. Although the black-eyed Susan, well, no, that's pretty much done for too. So this is all gonna come off. That'll be a task. This ruby hyacinth bean vine is out of control. So that'll be fun to cut off. And I mentioned in my last video, I didn't get any pods off of this one, but I did get some off of the one in the front. So hopefully I will have some seeds for next year. But look how thick this vine is. This is one seed. This whole thing comes from right there. But look how thick it is. Pretty cool. Plants are cool. And of course, the snapdragons are living their best life. They could not give an F about a frost. They don't care. They love it. They look fantastic. I have some more that are looking great. Let's go look at those. Here's a bunch more in this bed. And they look fine. Better than fine. I don't think I mentioned the temperature that we actually got down to. It was 28. Well, my Alexa said it was 24 this morning. I don't think she's right though, because she's never right. She's always like a little bit off. And the Weather Underground app said it was 28. So I trust them a little bit more. Also, these salvias made it through. I thought they were not going to, because they looked wilted, but they have bounced back. So that's awesome too. So this bed is looking pretty good still. I mean, other than it's just messy. And this big ageratum did die. Normally I leave things standing for the birds and stuff, but things like this, like the ageratum, things that just kind of get gross when the frost hits them, they have to come out. They're gross. They get all mushy. So that's why I don't leave these. And also, I'm pretty sure, I don't think these ageratum seeds, because they're so fine, I don't think that the birds use them at all. But I don't know. If you know different, let me know. Now this is a little surprising. There's still some petunias that made it through the frost. So that's interesting. Let's talk about why that might be. So last year, when I was trying to learn about frost and how that all works, right? I remember reading about how the plant, like the water that's in the soil or in the plant, kind of gets drawn out to the edges of the plant. And that's when you get like frost burn on the tips, stuff like that. So if there's enough water in the plant, that could essentially kill basically the whole plant, right? I think. I'm trying to understand this, but so anyway, we've been in a drought. I told you guys that. And I have been looking at the weather and wondering what to do, because I couldn't find a clear answer on whether I should water if we have a frost possibly coming up. Should I water because the plants haven't had water in several weeks? Or should I not water because if they have more water, they're more likely to frost? Is that the case? I wasn't sure about that. Now that I see that these petunias did not frost, I'm even more curious about it, because I don't water out there. I haven't watered. Maybe once in the last like 2 months. the last time that those plants were watered was probably 2 weeks ago. Probably 2 weeks ago. So they really don't have any water. So I feel like they're almost in like a stasis, like a, you know, like a paused state. And I'm okay with that because they still have blooms on them. They look pretty. But I don't know, am I making any sense? My frost theory about maybe you shouldn't water if you know there's a frost coming up. Help me out. Who's into science? Let me know in the comments. One last thing before we go, I actually forgot to uncover some things that I covered for the frost. That is the gorgeous fuchsia that I had here. Excuse the mess. I'm working on it. I've shown it in several videos, so let's just see how it did, yeah? I'm nervous. Oh my goodness. Look. Look. She looks all right. This bloom was ready to go anyway. But look at this. She looks pretty good, you guys. What do you think? That's pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, I think I mentioned to you I was going to move this inside for the winter. I think I still am going to try. But I forgot that it has this ivy sticking out of the back that I'm trying to climb up the lattice. So if I bring it inside, I have to repot it because the ivy is not okay for the cats. So now I'm debating, but I think I just love it so much. I feel like I still really want to bring it inside. So I might attempt to repot this guy. Okay, so that's going to do it for this one. I just wanted to show you guys kind of what happened with the first frost because I know I had talked about that in my last video. Speaking of, if you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you guys for joining me. Bye! And we might as well just check in on my girl, Alyssa. I told you guys, she can handle a frost, no problem. She's looking beautiful. Look, she's blooming like crazy. She's got a ways to go.